You kick it off this week.
What's happening?
Well, this is second podcast in a row now for a couple of weeks, so we're doing well.
Is it?
We've had 4 or 5
Well,
now.
this is the fourth. What we did leave a week, didn't we?
Yeah, we only missed one.
Okay, we only missed one.
Oh, I need to turn the music off.
So, what have you been doing this
You
week?
sound like Squidward from SpongeBob. Or whatever that
I love
voice is.
Squidward. I'm happy about that.
Yeah. New episode, new week.
Have you done anything interesting?
We did something interesting. We went to a cool gig, didn't we?
We went to Factory Floor.
Yeah. Did you didn't respond to my message, by the way? Did you see that?
Oh yeah, they followed you. Yeah.
Did that make you really jealous?
It did a bit. The woman in Factory Floor, Nick, she follows me on Instagram for some reason.
Well, I did see the post that you shared of your photos. You should flash a few up if you can be bothered.
If I can be bothered.
But I noticed you tagged them as individual musicians rather than
I tagged
Factory
their
Floor.
as well as
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know him as well as you, but you know, went to see a band called Factory Floor, which is one of Luke's. It was on your hit list for a long time.
Oh yeah. They haven't played together for a long time.
Yeah.
So do you know what? I feel like that camera did me dirty a little bit. I took the Olympus Mu 2, and it just wasn't performing in the way that I would like. I think there was a bit of a problem with. I put the setting on so you could fire the flash and then the lens stays open for like a second.
Oh, okay, yeah. Just to get a bit of a light leak, kind of.
Yeah. So you can like flash it, get some interesting effects and stuff like that. Shooting on Cinestill, but I've had better results with the Pentax 17 doing that, and I think because it's a manual, if you can put it on bulb mode and you can set the flash to go off, you just you kind of in control then of how long the lens is going to stay open for. Because what was happening was it was almost just like it's going to stay open for ages, or it was getting confused about how bright it was because
did you get some like overexposed results?
I got some really overexposed stuff, and then I got some ones where it was like, I think it was getting confused by the fact there's loads of flashing lights. It's like, oh, well, it's actually quite bright in here. And it's like, really, I just wanted it to flash and then stay open for a second, and it wasn't really playing ball. But obviously, you don't know that in the moment, do you?
Well, to be fair, looking through the images that you took, it's a very discreet camera, because I didn't see you take one photo if I think back at it.
Because we were raving so hard.
With all 80 people that were there.
Yeah.
It's wicked that it was a small gig like that, to be fair.
It's great.
Yeah, and I took some photos as well, didn't I? Can't remember what camera I took. I took my little Ricoh GR2, back in love with it again for another week. But yeah, that's what we did. Went to London, and we didn't really have time to go there early and walk around for a bit, did we? It was bad weather, to be fair, but not that you shouldn't take photos in bad weather, but...
So we were saying, we're like, we could have taken photos of people with a magazine covering their head in black and white, because no one's ever done that before in the rain. But, you know, anyway, there we go. So that's what we did.
Yeah,
and we watched a film that we were both like, holy mackerel.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to steal the credit. You recommended this to me.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty famous film. It was like number one.
Yeah. So but really randomly, I watched it like... early evening.
Yeah, when you messaged me saying I've just watched it, I was like...
I was doing some work, like just sitting there on my laptop, and then I put that on thinking it might... Because you said, without going into too much detail, it's a little bit of a slow burner as well.
Oh, yeah.
So I was going dry, that's what she said?
Yeah, I think so. I think it deserves it.
So I was thinking, maybe it's something I can watch in the background. Maybe it's like a dialogue, something I can just listen to. But I was hooked almost instantly. And it's kind of like 3 films all kind of mixed together.
Yeah,
Is that fair to say?
3? Definitely 2.
Well, there's like a horror element to it.
Yeah.
There's the music side of it. Because you don't really see the horror side of it for a while, right?
No.
It's all about the music and, you know, that side of it, which you know is leading towards something.
Yeah.
Then you've got the horror side of it, and then you've got the kind of story of the people and, you know, like the mob kind of side of it. Do you know what I mean?
And I love the fact they didn't show any of that stuff. It was like told through what those two characters are up to now.
I always feel like there'll be like a TV show that comes out in 10 years, which will be the mob side of them working for Al
when they
Capone
worked
or
in
whatever.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh, but it was so yeah, I had to rewind it to re-watch. There's a scene kind of halfway through, isn't there, where they're playing music and they're connecting with like this like transcendental connection with musicians from the past and the future, and I was so amazed by it. I just rewound it and started that bit again. So it's like, that's incredible.
So there was one thing I wanted to talk to you about that scene in particular.
Yeah.
So in the scene, there's like flash forwards, flashbacks of different genres of music, right? But the audio that played over the movie as they were doing it, because visually it looked amazing, flash forwards, flashbacks, everything in between, right? But the song changed throughout. So they always had the like the actor who played the guitar in there, that was always going throughout. But then they would meet like a DJ, but it wasn't a DJ playing a remix of the song that was in the background. It was just a bit of whatever it might be. Then it would go to another musician playing, say, I don't know, the piano, but it wouldn't be. I kind of almost expected it to be like a remix of the song. So they'd put like, in the hip hop scene, there'd be like a beat, but using the same melody as the song that was being performed in the movie of that current time, if that makes sense. But it wasn't. However, visually, it looked amazing.
Yeah. I don't know what your question is, but
the question is, did you notice that? Did you notice that there was multiple songs, or?
I mean, yeah. I don't know how. I think I know what you mean, but I don't have an answer for the why.
Well, it was something I watched back, and I was like, why haven't they just remixed it so it's just a nice, like, one song that's been remixed throughout that scene, but they've just kind of randomly picked up different.
I think there's a lot of
bits.
deep diving you can do into that film.
Yeah.
To, because the music plays such a huge part of it.
Yeah.
I don't think anything's like, oh yeah, just stick that song in. No,
Yeah.
I think it's all very, very specific.
Oh yeah, of course.
And it did make me go and tune my guitar to an open E, so I could play like the blues like they play it, because it's a bit. You have to use a slightly different tuning. So that was fun.
It was very bluesy, especially.
It's literally about
the blues. Yeah, but that's but Luke told me when I watched this movie to go into it blind and not really do any research, and I just happened to not see a trailer for Sinners. Like I said to you, I just remember Michael B. Jordan reading or listening to like an Empire podcast like a year ago, saying he was going to be in this new movie where he's playing twins, and that's all I knew. So I deliberately didn't watch the trailer, went into it blind.
It's not really a twist, is it? Because it's set up kind of early on, but you don't necessarily know what the twist is.
Yeah.
If you don't know, watch it and go, oh wow, yeah. There's one film that it very much relates to, which I didn't want to say, but this is a spoiler, but like From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't put that together when I was watching
because
it.
obviously.
Yeah.
But just appearing halfway through, we're like, oh, it's a different film.
Yeah.
So, does this relate to photography or front or anything in any way? It's visually stunning.
Yeah.
Is that why you were like?
The reason I like talking about a movie that we've watched is because you know a lot more about movies than me, but we're not experts in that field. However, me watching a good movie always motivates me to be creative in my medium, which happens to be photography, right?
Right.
So for me, it's visually kind of motivating just to watch. So that's it was a huge inspiration. And I also watched The Accountant too. Have you watched that yet?
No, still not.
There's one scene in that reminds me of me and you, where because they're brothers in it, right?
Okay.
But there's one scene where they're just sitting on the roof of this Winnebago or whatever you call it, but I don't want to ruin it now. I'll wait for you to watch it. But it just reminded me of me and you for some reason.
What are their names in that?
Ben Affleck and
What are they
called?
I can't. They got really funny names.
Oh, have they? No, can't remember.
When you watched it.
I can't remember the character names. The Accountant too.
Christian and Brax.
Braxton. Yeah. Because
Braxton.
Yeah.
Okay, so. Photography news. I don't know if we're going to be able to carry this on because not really that interested in photography news, but I will say Daniel Arnold has got a new book coming out, and if you are a fan of good photography, you should be at least following him. Along with Jeremy Page, Eaten by Flowers are like my two favourite street, just any photographers working at the moment. I'd say
Why?
they're
That's what I've got to ask you. I've got to ask you questions. Why? Why
weird.
do you
They're
feel like
weird. They're just they just find like weird little moments, and I think
Can we flash up one of their photos?
yeah,
Can we
if I
just talk
can
about
be
that
bothered.
taxi and the religious sign?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's just talk
Okay,
about
go
that
on
because I
then.
know that one without seeing it. But
Yeah. So
yeah,
well,
it's
I'll
mind
just
blowing.
bring it
Isn't it?
up.
It's a really good example of, I don't know, would you call that lucky or just pure skill? Because
Well, I've seen people. I saw an interview with him where he was talking about people accuse him of not using a camera and say he's just walking around with a video camera and he takes stills from it because otherwise, how could he be so lucky? And he's like, "That's so cool. If you think my photography is that good,
yeah.
then amazing." But
That's an interesting one though. Let's say someone did do that, which he doesn't, by the way. But if you do that, that's still art.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like taking
I
a photo
think.
with a drone. Surely.
Well, I mean,
I
with
mean, I
a
wouldn't-
drone, you're still taking a still.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
taking a
yeah.
still. I mean, I would say if you were open about the fact that that's how you got your images, then yeah. But if you were doing that and tagging them with like
Yeah.
Leica M6,
Yeah.
then
I wouldn't
like,
class it as photography, but it's definitely an art form.
Yeah,
Still, you still got to
yeah.
see that moment, haven't you?
But like
anyway,
all the
this-
stuff
this
that's going on
image.
this image, obviously you've got the guy with the sign, and it's like, okay, you'd take that photo if you saw it, but then his taxi has got 666 written on the side of it. But then also when you look really closely on the writing on the breast, it says Bridge 2. So it's like Bridge 2 Evil, as it reads left to right.
Isaiah 5:20.
Yeah, it's just a like.
It's just a cool image, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's a wicked thing to capture. Like,
yeah.
there's so many places your eyes get drawn to when you're looking at that.
He's great anyway. But he had a book called Pickpocket that came out a few years ago. They don't call it a book, do they? Like the photographers. It's a monograph or something like that. Is that the right word? And that came out a few years ago and it was instantly sold out. You literally can't find a copy of it for sale anywhere. So he's got a new book coming out and you can pre-order it now. And I think it's like 50 quid or something. And it will be, amazing.
And you
so
pre-ordered it, you say?
I've pre-ordered it. Yes.
Good, so I don't need to then.
So yeah, exactly. So if you're interested in books, then and photographers, then do that. That's
the one to look
news.
out for. Yeah, that is news.
That's
yeah.
news. Right. Sing the song.
Photo of the week.
Print of the week.
Print of the week. I don't know why I'm singing it. You're the singer.
Oh.
Print of the week. Luke will be headlining Download next weekend on the Saturday at 3 p.m.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just reading some text messages. Right, so this is called Are You There? And it's taken by someone called Arabella. And
Just with two L's,
she-
not multiple L's.
Yeah, that would be multiple A's. I was just trying to see if there's a surname. DM for Prince. Arabella, what are you doing?
What are you doing? This is why we created. You've
Put
got front.
Your front profile.
If you've got something, just let's go back to this photo and let's tell them quickly what front is. What is front, Luke?
This episode is sponsored by
Front photography.
Yeah. So Front is it's a website where you can set up a profile to sell prints of your photography, 12 at a time. That's
And
it.
get paid.
You get
for what
paid
sell.
for it. Yeah, you receive 85% of the selling price. Do you?
No. It's close to that.
It's close to that. Yeah.
We give you as much money as humanly possible. Put it that way.
Yeah, there's
but
a
it's all-
printing fee and then you receive 85%. We take a 15% commission. So if you sell a photo for £100 and it costs us £5 to print, which I think that's the printing
Yep.
cost.
I think it's a £5 flat fee.
£5
for print.
flat fee. We take 15%, which is 15 of 100. You're receiving 80 English pounds for your £100 print. The buyer pays £3.50 postage, which is actually about what it costs. So we don't make any money there.
But you can set the price
And
yourself.
yes, you can set the price for yourself, £20 or
Minimum £20.
but sell it for 100.
Sell it for whatever
Yeah.
you want. Yeah, don't undervalue your work. You know what front is if you're listening to this, and if you don't know what front is, head over to the website.
Yeah, it's free
check
to
it out.
use.
Yeah, free
Right.
to use.
Arabella has set this photo at £50.
Yeah, awesome.
Perfect. So I actually went onto the explore page of our website and I found one of her photos, and then I clicked through to her gallery, and I thought shop front.
Shop front, yeah.
I think it's gallery, isn't it? And I was like, actually, I'm going to pick this one instead. So this is a caravan covered in snow. It's surreal. It's
Can I
funny.
actually see the image without the mic's in the way? Is it black and white? I can't see. Oh, it's not black and white.
You can't see that it's black and white.
I can't because of the spring. I literally couldn't see anything. I just wanted to see if it was colour or black and white, and all I could see was snow and sky.
Okay, so look.
Anyway, beautiful image.
It's kind of humorous.
Yeah.
And it's the name of it. It's photographed in Transylvania. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like a
vampire.
Kind of. No, I can't do that. It's great, isn't it? Love it. I just love it. It kind of makes me laugh a little bit. I don't know why. It's got some rule of thirds going on. You could draw some lines across that and make it look like you know what you're talking about. And
but you were just saying before this as well. You don't really see many photos like that as a print, do you? Actually, oh no, that was one of.
No, that was one of her other ones.
Yeah,
so that was this one, which if I can be bothered, I'll flash up on the screen
you
as
can
well.
be bothered. Drop this video a thumbs up if you want to see more images.
Yeah, but. Yeah, you don't. I really like that. That's the first one that caught my eye, and it's like it's not even focused, but I don't care. I love it.
Yeah.
It's but that is. Then I was like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I like that. I feel like everyone, or as a photographer, if you come across that, you're going to take a photo of it, right? However, not everyone would take it from that angle.
It's also no, they wouldn't. But also, I don't know what it's shot on. But if it's shot on film, it's quite hard to shoot film. I don't think it is, but. It's quite hard to shoot.
There's a lot of layers
snow
on
film,
even though it's a very flat image.
Yeah, so you got the snow, the caravan, the trees, the mountains, the sky.
Yeah, but also these trees poking up and seeing the different tones going off in the background are lovely. When you first showed me this image, I thought it was I thought the page was still loading, but obviously front is so quick and speedy that we don't have waiting times on there. But I thought it was. Like a first of the roll, or it's still loading.
Oh, okay.
Really like
it's snow.
Yeah. It's just snow. Yeah, just the good stuff. Anyway, that's photo of the week.
Print of the week.
Print of the week. Description down below to go by.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No.